What was it like fighting back then when basically there was like hardly any rules, you weren't getting paid next to nothing?
Yeah, well, it made it hard to tell people on a date. Like I remember when I first met their mother, and I was a bouncer at the Rhino for over a decade, and she came in on a bachelorette party, a co-ed thing, so they're all partying and hanging out, and then I started hitting on her and stuff, and then the conversation gets awkward when it's like, oh, so like, what do you do, and I'm like, oh, well. I fight, like, oh, so you box? No, not exactly. I do this thing called mixed martial arts. I think at the time I even might have used the word NHB, no holds barred fighting, and at the time she thought I was doing like some kind of Billy Blanks kickboxing, like aerobic stuff. So I had my fight coming up with Pete Williams. And I told her, hey, because she didn't live in town. I was like, why don't you come in town? I'll get you a ticket. We can, go to my fight. I won't really see you beforehand, but afterwards we can go out on a date and we can talk and stuff. So she comes to the fights having no idea why all these people are showing up to watch kickboxing or to watch like some kind of aerobics demonstration. So she watches the first, I think I was like the second or third fight of the night. And, so she's watching me walk out and I take his arm off in about, 45 seconds. And so I walk back to the locker room, and I'm really excited because, all right, the girl that I like, that I have the hots for, just watched me just dismantle a man. It's very primal. It's very much I'm a caveman, you know what I mean? Beat my chest, I'm the alpha, right? I go to the back and I check my phone, and she broke up with me. She goes, I already have a son, that I raised, and I don't know if this would be a healthy environment for me to have him in. I didn't realize you were so violent and just like basically like, a brutal beast. I was like, and in hindsight, I don't know how I actually pulled this off. I actually called her back because she was trying to leave. Like, no, you have to stay. I'm talking to you. This is not how this is going to end. So I kind of, very aggressively, which probably was not good in my argument, told her, no, you're going to hang out for a second to hear what I have to say about this. And so when I came out to her, I said, no, this isn't that I'm a violent person. We're all violent creatures, just like we're all creatures that like to eat. We're all creatures that like to procreate. We all have these urges inside of us, but I'm someone who's trying to master these urges and be a person who can control them. And this is my venue for doing so. I'm not a person of violence, but I can control violence. And, I don't avoid it because avoiding violence isn't a man that you're ever going to want to have. I'm a person who will see violence as an opportunity to control it and subdue it, and control it within myself and control it in others. And she gave me a second date, and then the rest is history. We have 3 children, and they're all also very much in part of violence.
That's brilliant, as you say. I couldn't imagine the missus turning up to a show thinking that she's coming to see some sort of crazy aerobics, and then she just sees people's arms getting snapped and people getting elbowed in the face